Every time I get on a long flight, I feel like I aged 10 years crossing the Atlantic. My parents are flying to Europe next month, and they are terrified of those 10-hour flights. Everyone says, just drink water on the plane. Is it really that simple?
It is absolutely not that simple. The airlines tell you to stay hydrated, and the flight attendants will gladly pour you those tiny plastic cups of water. But here is the secret the aviation medical examiners know, especially regarding older passengers. Relying on thirst during a flight is a dangerous strategy.
Why? If you are thirsty, you drink, right?
Not exactly. As we age, our bodies actually lose the sensitivity of the thirst mechanism. So, an older passenger might be severely dehydrated in that extremely dry cabin air, which is hovering around 10 to 20% humidity, drier than the Sahara Desert, without feeling thirsty at all. The protocol is to start hyperhydrating 24 hours before the flight. Do not wait for the seatbelt sign to turn off. But hydration is only half the battle. What happens to the blood flow in your legs is what you really need to worry about.
You mean blood clots, right? Deep vein thrombosis. I bought my dad those compression socks at the pharmacy. Does that solve it?
Purchasing them is a start, but incorrect usage renders them useless. Federal Aviation Administration health advisories suggest compression between 15 and 20 millimeters of mercury. Most people wait until they are on the plane, wrestling in the tiny lavatory to put them on. You must put them on before you leave your house for the airport. Your legs begin pooling fluid during the car ride and standing in security.
Wait, before you even leave for the airport? I had no idea.
Yes, and here is the insider trick physical therapists use. They call your calf muscles the second heart. When you are sitting in a cramped economy seat for 9 hours, that second heart stops pumping. Every 30 minutes, you must perform ankle pumps. Point your toes up, point them down. It manually activates that second heart, forcing blood back up your legs. Just wearing the socks is a passive defense. Ankle pumps are active defense. Yet, even with perfect circulation, what the airline feeds you can undo all of it.
You mean the airplane food? I know it tastes bland, but what does it have to do with swelling?
It tastes bland to you because cabin pressure numbs your taste buds by about 30%. To compensate, airline catering companies dump massive amounts of sodium into the meals. We are talking day-ruining levels of salt. When an older passenger eats that beef stew they serve over the Atlantic, they are ingesting a sodium bomb.
So the food actually causes you to swell?
Exactly. The salt causes severe water retention. Combine that with high altitude, sitting still, and age-related circulation changes, and your ankles swell up like balloons. The secret? Eat a full, balanced meal in the terminal before you board. Once on the plane, only eat unsalted nuts or fruits you brought yourself. Refuse the hot meal entirely. And speaking of the terminal, the way you manage your time before the flight actually dictates how much you will suffer when you land.
Usually, we just get past TSA, find our gate, and sit there for an hour waiting for Zone 5 to board. Is that bad?
It is the worst possible thing you can do. You are about to sit motionless in a pressurized metal tube for 10 hours, and you preemptively sit down for an hour before it even starts? Aviation health guidelines push for pre-flight mobility. Walk the terminal. Stretch. Stay on your feet until the very last second before they scan your boarding pass.
So I should just pace around the airport like a maniac?
It is far better than the alternative. Pacing keeps the synovial fluid in your joints moving. For seniors facing an ocean crossing, entering the aircraft with cold, stiff joints is a recipe for agonizing back pain by the time you reach London. But joint pain is nothing compared to the invisible exhaustion source hiding right above your head throughout the entire trip.
Invisible exhaustion source? Do you mean the air vents? I always point them away from me.
No, I mean the constant 80 decibel roar of the jet engines and wind resistance. It is called noise fatigue. Our brains are not evolved to process a continuous, droning roar for 12 hours straight. For older adults, this constant sensory input forces the brain into a state of low-level chronic stress.
I never thought about that. I just thought I was tired from trying to sleep upright.
It is a massive factor. The continuous low-frequency noise drains cognitive energy. You must intervene. Noise-canceling headphones are not a luxury item. They are medical-grade travel equipment. Or, at the very least, industrial foam earplugs. If you cut out the engine drone, you cut out 50% of the post-flight exhaustion. However, blocking out the noise will not help you if your lifeline is trapped out of reach when the seatbelt sign suddenly turns on.
Wait, what do you mean lifeline? Like a life vest?
No, I mean essential medical supplies. Older travelers constantly make the mistake of putting all their bags in the overhead bin to maximize legroom. But what happens over the mid-Atlantic when severe, unexpected clear air turbulence hits?
The pilots turn on the seatbelt sign, and the flight attendants yell at everyone to sit down immediately.
Exactly. The Department of Transportation mandates that you stay seated. The turbulence could last for 2 hours. If your heart medication, your blood pressure pills, your hearing aid batteries, or your saline nasal spray are in the overhead bin, you cannot access them. It is a federal violation to stand up when instructed not to, and it is highly dangerous.
So you absolutely must keep a small bag directly under the seat in front of you.
Yes, your critical kit must be accessible without undoing your seatbelt. Never put your medications in the overhead bin. Never. And once you finally survive the flight and land, the biggest mistake people make happens the second they look at their phones.
Oh, jet lag. It ruins the first 3 days of any trip abroad. There is no real cure for that, right? You just have to suffer.
There is no magic pill, but there is a psychological hack that competitive athletes use when crossing time zones, and it helps seniors immensely. The error occurs when people keep doing mental math. They look at the local time in Rome and think, oh, it is noon here, but it is actually 3 a.m. back home. I should be asleep.
I do that every single time. I always calculate what time it is back in New York.
Stop doing it. The moment you sit down in your airplane seat at boarding, change your watch to the destination time. Stop thinking about your origin time completely. You must immediately force your brain to accept the new reality. If it is dinner time at your destination, try to eat. If it is sleep time, try to close your eyes. By fully committing to the destination time psychological shift, you signal your circadian rhythm to begin adapting hours earlier.